The Battle of Megiddo, fought in the 15th century BCE, likely around 1457 BCE, is one of the earliest recorded battles in history, involving the Egyptian pharaoh Thutmose III and a coalition of Canaanite city-states led by the king of Kadesh. It took place near the city of Megiddo, in modern-day Israel, a strategically vital location controlling trade and military routes in the Levant. The battle is significant for its detailed documentation in Egyptian records, particularly the Annals of Thutmose III inscribed at Karnak, providing one of the first comprehensive accounts of a military campaign. Thutmose III, often regarded as one of Egypt's greatest military pharaohs, ruled during the New Kingdom's 18th dynasty, circa 1479 to 1425 BCE. Early in his reign, he was co-regent with his stepmother, Hatshepsut, whose peaceful policies focused on trade rather than conquest. After her death around 1458 BCE, Thutmose III sought to reassert Egyptian dominance over the Levant, a region critical for its trade routes and as a buffer against northern powers like the Mitanni. The Levant was a patchwork of city-states, many of which paid tribute to Egypt but were prone to rebellion. The king of Kadesh, a powerful city-state in modern-day Syria, organized a coalition of Canaanite rulers, including those from Megiddo and other cities, to challenge Egyptian control. This coalition, possibly backed by Mitanni, sought to exploit the transition in Egyptian leadership to break free from tribute obligations. The rebels gathered their forces at the entrance to a narrow pass, controlling access to the Jezreel Valley and trade routes to Mesopotamia. When Thutmose III learned of the rebellion, he acted decisively. Egyptian records indicate he assembled an army, likely numbering 10,000 to 20,000 men, consisting of infantry, archers, and charioteers. The campaign began in April, based on seasonal references, as Thutmose marched from Egypt through the Sinai and into Canaan, covering about 240 miles in roughly 10 days, a remarkable logistical feat. Upon reaching the town of Yeam, south of Megiddo, Thutmose faced a critical decision. His scouts reported that the Canaanite coalition, likely numbering a comparable force, was encamped near Megiddo. 3 routes led to the city. Aruna Pass, a narrow, direct route through the Carmel Ridge, risky due to its vulnerability to ambush but allowing a quick approach to Megiddo. Jefti route, a safer, northern path that took longer and approached from a less defensible position. Tanakh route, another safer, southern route, but also slower and less direct. Thutmose's generals advised taking one of the safer routes, citing the danger of the Aruna Pass, where the army would need to march single file, making it easy prey for an ambush. Thutmose, however, chose the bold option, declaring, as recorded in the annals, "I swear, as Re loves me, as my father Ammonius favors me, I shall go through the Aruna Pass." His decision was driven by the element of surprise and the desire to catch the enemy off guard, as the Canaanites likely expected him to take a safer route. Thutmose led his army through the Aruna Pass, a daring move that required precise coordination. The narrow path meant the army stretched out vulnerably, with the vanguard emerging hours before the rear guard. Egyptian records described Thutmose personally leading the march, possibly to inspire confidence. The gamble paid off. The Canaanites, underestimating Thutmose's audacity, had not heavily guarded the pass. The Egyptian army emerged intact on the plain near Megiddo by dawn, surprising the coalition forces. The battle itself unfolded on the plain south of Megiddo, likely in late April or early May. The Canaanite coalition, led by the king of Kadesh and including forces from Megiddo and other city-states, was deployed in a defensive formation, possibly expecting an attack from the other routes. Thutmose organized his army into 3 divisions. Center, led by Thutmose himself, anchoring the line. Left wing, positioned to block the enemy's retreat toward Megiddo. Right wing, deployed to outflank the Canaanites and prevent reinforcement from nearby cities. The Egyptians relied heavily on their chariots, armed with composite bows, and disciplined infantry. The Canaanite forces, while numerous and equipped with chariots, were less cohesive, as their coalition comprised disparate city-state militias. The battle began with an Egyptian advance, likely supported by volleys of arrows and chariot charges. Thutmose's forces pressed the Canaanite line, exploiting their lack of unity. The annals describe the enemy breaking quickly, fleeing toward the fortified city of Megiddo. However, the Egyptian victory was marred by a critical mistake. Instead of pursuing the fleeing enemy, Egyptian soldiers stopped to loot the Canaanite camp, allowing many coalition leaders, including the king of Kadesh, to escape into Megiddo's walls. Thutmose reportedly rebuked his troops for their lack of discipline, as this prolonged the campaign. With the Canaanite forces retreating into Megiddo, Thutmose ordered a siege. Megiddo was a heavily fortified city, with high walls and ample supplies, making a direct assault costly. The Egyptians constructed a wooden palisade around the city, referred to in the annals as a wall of strength, to cut off supplies and prevent escapes. The siege lasted approximately 7 months, a testament to Megiddo's defenses and the coalition's resolve. During the siege, Thutmose maintained pressure through patrols and likely small-scale assaults while ensuring his army was supplied from local resources and Egyptian outposts. The prolonged siege weakened the defenders, who eventually surrendered. The annals record that the city yielded without fighting, suggesting starvation or demoralization forced their capitulation. The king of Kadesh and other leaders escaped, possibly before the surrender, but Megiddo's fall secured Egyptian control over the region. The Battle of Megiddo was a defining moment in Thutmose II's reign, showcasing his strategic acumen and securing Egypt's empire in the Levant. The campaign's success lay not only in the battlefield victory but also in the meticulous planning and adaptability demonstrated by Thutmose. Its legacy endures as one of the earliest and best documented military engagements, offering a glimpse into ancient warfare and the ambitions of one of Egypt's greatest pharaohs.